Hey there folks, I'm out at a waterfall, you can see this, and probably hear it in the background. There's two of them, there's one there and another one down. There you go, beneath me. So yeah, I'm out catching a bit of nature time. So important when you're busy, hectic, with all the stressful things going on in life, to have some reset out in nature. It's a really lovely spot, this one. It's one of my favourite little nature places. I've been in for a swim. It's pretty humid at the moment, but the swim was very enjoyable. And I was just wanting to reflect on something. Yeah, just in regards to when there's so much change and uncertainty going on, I was thinking about that which we put our energy into, where we put our focus. And for some of us, our directions have had to have changed because of the circumstances out in the world at the moment. Others are a little bit less touched by it all. But in the lead up to the end of the year, Christmas, New Year's, all of that, there tends to often be this energy in the air about reassessing where we're at, what we're doing, the direction we're going, the new year, or in my case, I've been thinking about the next 20 years ahead, and just wanting to be certain that the direction I'm heading is the direction that feels right, feels aligned to my heart, the service that I can offer, and that I could reach, the maximum number of people and assist with, the unique whatever it is that I bring to the world. My note in the choir of life, something like that. So I think it is still quite a good time energetically to be reflecting on what it is that we bring, what it is that we're offering. And so I've withdrawn from a whole lot of things that I normally do. I'm not writing so much, not publishing to my blog, and I've stopped running meditations for the moment, just to have an in-breath, I guess, to come back into the stillness in my own center. And in drawing back, I've noticed that there's quite a few different possible projects ahead of me, things that I could put my energy into, some things that are already in motion that I could take deeper if I wished, or I could pivot, using that modern hip term, entirely and go into far more deeply a direction that's been with me since my very young years, that I've never really explored as a practice or as a process. Practice and process, they're not the right words. As a direction, let's just say. So many possibilities. And one of the things that's interesting about possibilities is that they're a really great way to stay distracted from taking action in the now. I was talking with my life coach yesterday. Shout out to Kelly, you're awesome. And the pointiness of questions that direct you straight into the deep again. And it becomes quite obvious that procrastination can be very easily disguised by contemplation of many avenues of possibility and expression. And so it's important not to allow the ego, the lesser self, whatever, to distract you completely from looking at what needs to be addressed, what can just be completely put aside and actually given no energy at all, not ignored, but just de-energized, and looking at the areas where you can then actually take action. And of course, in order to do that, you need to have some sense in your heart of what is correct and what is a distraction. And I guess only you can tell that for yourself, as I can only tell for myself. And so I'm just going to go down a little, get my feet into a slightly more comfy position there. Maybe I'll get here where you can see the waterfall again. Yeah, so we can only really determine these things for ourselves. But of course, it's also useful, aside from turning within and seeking guidance from your higher self, from those inner beings that you have through time and practice tested to know are reliable sources of clear insight. You can also talk to mentors, people whose perspectives you hold in great regard, just as a reflective mirror, because we are all connected, even though obviously we have to choose for ourselves, and we must know in our own heart what is true. Everything that we do is relational. I can't help others without others, I can't give without someone to receive. And everything that I might do in the way of purpose is all about my relationship to the world, to animals, to nature, to people. And so there's nothing wrong, even though I know it's not so popular as an idea, there's nothing wrong with seeking counsel and discussing the ideas you have with others and not just trusting yourself alone. From one point of view, doing that, trusting yourself alone, could be seen as a type of spiritual separatism. There's an interesting concept. Like the age of the individual, in terms of looking at what's good for my people. And I mean that in a spiritual sense, those with whom I have connection in the world and in life, focus, those that I can reach as opposed to those that are beyond, that I can only connect with via some impact on the collective consciousness. But so for those that I can connect with, everything that I want to do is in regard to them, is in relation to them. And so it seems sensible that we open up to the fact that the kingdom of souls works as a unity, it works in oneness, and therefore there isn't really anything that we can do, or should do at least, that is individualistic, separative by nature. I think it's really important to open to the collective wisdom and to co-measure our individual, what we think might be our intuition or inner guidance, against the wisdom of the greater whole, and perhaps even against some of the ageless wisdom teachings that have proven themselves over millennia to help people come from first individualization into the point of, enlightened beings and evolving beyond the human condition altogether into the spiritual kingdom. And so there is guidance that can be drawn from some of those. Of course, one has to be careful when we're looking at old teachings, because some are simply out of date and are just going to be like running us around the treadmill of preschool, when actually we really should be stepping up into university. Now, I'm not going to specify what I believe fits into that category. That's up to you to figure out. But sometimes the older something is, the more out of date and the more irrelevant it is. And sometimes something that's very fresh and new may be exactly the thing. And the reverse can also be true. Some of the older teachings have proven their merit, and some of the newer stuff is just complete glamour and illusion and really the fast path into, practicing evil in some sort of way. There's no shortage of of things that we can get ourselves mixed up in, as it were. Of course, when you're out in nature, there's not really much anything here that's going to send us down the garden path. Well, bad expression. Because this is the garden path. This is the garden. It's just lovely out here. So I think it really is important to take time out when things are hectic, when there is tension, and there's definitely plenty of that in the collective field at the moment. And the thoughtosphere is a buzz with theories this way and that, everyone wondering what is actually true, what isn't. And in the end, we still have to make choices day to day, despite all the information, misinformation, confusion, malevolent agendas, benevolent agendas. There's so much information. We have to transmute that into wisdom. And to do that, we've got to go into the stillness of the heart. And one of the easiest places to do that, in deep meditation, of course, but also some silent alone time out in nature. You can go with friends, but we tend to socially engage, emotionally engage. So it's probably a good thing to occasionally go out alone. Obviously nowhere dangerous. Be wise about it, don't be silly. But if you have the benefit of something as close to your home as a little waterfall like this is about a 3-minute drive and 5-minute drive, and then a 15-minute walk from my place. So I'm very, very lucky. And it's nice that it's flowing again. It's been a bit dry. There's still a bit of silt from the surface clay being washed into the water. That's what you can see, that subtle, which way do you go? There we go. That subtle greenish colour. Anyway, as you can see, I'm sort of flowing organically from deep, deep, deep stuff into some more light playfulness. And I think that's an important demonstration that we shouldn't surrender to seriosity, and at the same time shouldn't get too dominated by our emotions. Emotional highs are just as destructive to the spiritual center as emotional lows. They may feel better at the time, but they still are agitation in the water, which then sullies your ability to see clearly into the deep and have accurate information. And so coming out into nature can help reset all of that emotionalism and that mental chatter back into the stillness, just the vastness of nature. It's just wonderful. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me see what I've got, about 10-minute chit chat. Gee, I've never done one like this for so long. Hopefully you'll get some value out of this, my lovelies. And just going to take a moment and send through this video camera as much beauty and love and joy as I'm feeling in this beautiful spot, to see if I can transmit that to you. Bless you with my blessings and the gratitude that I feel. Hopefully you can feel some of that. I might just pan around and show you the other side before I wrap this up. I just got to stand somewhere safe and do this a little bit slowly so you don't get too dizzy. But if we go beyond here, whoops, oh, there we go. Hopefully you can see there's a big valley, bit of a rocky edge. Oh, it's not showing up so well in the video, but that little thing there is a rocky edge that goes to a waterfall. All right then, I'm going to sign off and post this as soon as I get home. Love to you, and stay strong, stay true, and may all those that protect you draw near so that you feel safe and nurtured and loved and valued in this time. And do not be scared to shine your light blazingly, brilliantly, without apology or censorship. Do not worry about those tall poppy, I don't know what to call them, people who are so enraptured in their fear and their darkness that they actually have to pull down others that are shining brightly. Just ignore them. Don't worry about them. Shine anyway. Shine without apology. Be your brilliant self, your vastest, most luminous self. And I don't say that in measure to, as some people have said, denying the parts of you that need work, the shadow as it is. You know, embrace that, embody that, but still shine even brighter. That's my love to you. All right. Mwah.